I didn't know that one evening, standing outside a door and hearing another woman moan, would change my life forever. I gave my husband everything, my love, my loyalty, my time, and still, he broke me. My name is Deborah. George was my first love. We loved each other so deeply, I didn't even notice when things began to change. Loving him slowly started to feel like standing outside a locked door, waiting, hoping, praying that one day he would open it again. Yes, right there. Oh my God, I heard it clearly. The words, the sounds. Coming from the door, I was standing outside. My feet froze as shock rippled through my body. Was I at the right address? I glanced down at the paper in my trembling hand. For a second, I considered turning back. Curiosity battled with decency, and temptation wrestled with reason. I was about to leave when my eyes caught the bold inscription above the door. Anthonio's world. Go back, Deborah, my mind screamed. Leave. But Jennifer had said he was the best artist in town, and my curious mind betrayed me again, pulling me closer even as my conscience whispered no. I'm loving it. Yes. The woman's voice grew louder through the door. Go deeper. Let me see you. A deep, hoarse male voice followed, rich, thick, laced with an accent that curled around every word like smoke. The kind of voice that could send a strange heat down your spine before you even realized what was happening. My breath became uneven. Do you like it? The man continued. The woman's laughter followed, breathless and satisfied. Confusion clouded me. Should I knock? Should I wait? My eyes drifted to the small bell by the door. I was just about to press it when... Suddenly the door swung open. The woman stepped out. Her hair was messy, her blouse hastily buttoned, cheeks flushed. She glanced at me briefly before walking away, leaving behind the faint scent of perfume and something unspoken. I stood there, stunned. You're coming in, or should I shut the door? The voice made me jolt. When I looked up, I almost forgot how to breathe. He was huge, broad shoulders, dark skin catching the studio light, an unbuttoned shirt revealing a sculpted chest, with a tattoo of an angel with wings spread wide, bold and fierce, like it was ready to fly. Oh my goodness, I muttered, looking away quickly, heat rushing through my body. You said something? He asked, eyes fixed on me, amusement flickering beneath his calm expression. Oh, sorry, not for you. My voice cracked, and my cheeks reddened. Did I just say that out loud? So? He raised a brow and stepped aside, holding the door open. You coming in? Oh, yes. My heart pounded as I stepped inside. The door closed behind me with a soft echo. My eyes wandered across the studio. Colors, canvases, unfinished portraits that looked almost alive under the dim lights. Wow. The word slipped out. Yeah, I get that every time. He folded his arms across his chest, smirking. He began to walk toward me. My pulse raced. I stepped back too quickly, my spine hitting the door. He stretched his arm beside my head, resting it against the wood. I caught his scent, paint, sweat, something raw and masculine. My breathing grew shallow. Relax, he whispered near my ear. I'm only locking the door. The latch clicked. I am relaxed, I said softly. I just don't like feeling caged. His eyes lingered on mine for a moment before he stepped back. It's hot in here, I muttered, fanning myself. The air conditioner is on, he replied calmly, watching me with quiet amusement. Silence fell between us, heavy and electric. Is this what your clients experience when they come in here? I asked. Experience? He frowned slightly. Why did I say that? My mind flashed back to the woman that ran outside looking like she had just had a hot round. That's not what I meant, I corrected quickly. Tell me, are you experiencing something I don't know? He asked with a twinkle in his eyes. My thoughts raced. That every time I looked at you, my body reacted before my mind could stop it. That this place felt like temptation in human form. That I wanted to fall, but I couldn't. Because I love my husband. I'm Deborah, I said instead, lifting my hand for a handshake. My sister-in-law told me you're the best artist I can find. He didn't take my hand. He only looked at me. And a slow smirk spread across his lips, as if he knew exactly what was happening to me. And in that moment, I somehow managed to forget what I truly came for.
Deborah wasn't the only one feeling the electricity in that room. I felt it too. Every bit of it. When Jennifer had told me that someone was coming to see me for a painting, I didn't expect this. This wild beauty. Her lips were full, her hair thick and black, tied up like a donut, and those eyes, deep, holding stories I wanted to uncover. But she refused to meet my gaze. I made women tremble, and just by a mere glance, they already want me. I could feel the heat between us, the unspoken tension that hung in the air. If it were anyone else, I knew where this would end, but she was holding herself back. Her body said one thing, her lips said another. She lowered her hand, muttering something under her breath, and was about to turn away when I quickly came to my senses and caught her hand. I'm Anthonio. Forgive my manners, I said, brushing my lips against the back of her hand. She squirmed, her eyes widening. She tried to pull away, but I held her just a little longer. Her scent hit me, soft, floral, and intoxicating. My desire spiked, stretching my trousers. Your beauty is quite distracting, I said, my voice slipping out unevenly. Her eyes widened even more. Anger flashed across her face as she yanked her hand free. Can you sit down, and let's talk business? Her voice was sharp, and she immediately walked to the visitor's chair, taking a seat. Shaking my head, I moved to my own chair, facing her. Wondering what could have made her upset, I had just complimented her. She should be blushing. But she frowned. Instead of annoyance, a flicker of amusement stirred in me. She wasn't easily moved, she's different, and for some reason, that only pulled me in deeper. So, Jennifer said you needed a portrait, and that I should pay delicate attention to it, because it's dear to you, I said, watching her. Her head was bowed, her hands rummaging through her bag. After a moment, she pulled out a photograph and passed it to me. I picked it up and froze. A white man with a piercing gaze stared back at me. He was in a suit, his hands folded under his chin, expression confident. My heart sank as I raised my eyes to her. That's my husband. A small smile spread across her face. My sister-in-law told me, you're the best artist I can find. Her words echoed in my head. I had heard them before, but I'd hoped they weren't true. My heart sank deeper. I wish I could squeeze the picture slightly, crushing the life out of him. Instead, I forced a stiff smile, my fist curling under the table. I studied the photo, feeling my confidence dip. He was light-skinned and polished. Maybe that was her type. Maybe that's why she wasn't reacting to me the way others did. Why was she holding herself back even when the tension between us was thick enough to taste? So, tell me what you want, I asked, finally looking up. Her eyes drifted somewhere far away. I want your drawing to interpret what's in the picture. Better, with depth. My husband's birthday is on the eve of Christmas, she said. I watched her carefully. Every movement of her face, every pause between her words. Even though her voice was steady and she avoided my gaze, something about her felt off, like she was holding herself together by a thread. Are you happy? I asked, testing the waters. I didn't even know why. I wanted to listen to her, to offer comfort. What the hell is wrong with me? I don't do this. Is this what you do? She fired back, a frown cutting across her lips. How? I started. confusion twisting inside me. I was supposed to be in control. I always knew what to say, but her words disarmed me. "Is this what you do?" She continued again, her tone sharp but trembling. "Get your clients to open up so you can seduce them." The words hit harder than they should have. For a moment, I just stared at her. The pulse in my jaw tightened as my gaze slowly traced her face, her neckline, her trembling hands. "Do you want me to?" I asked quietly, my body tensing under the table. Her eyes flared like fire meeting gasoline. "I want you to draw my husband. That's what I came here for." Her nostrils flared in annoyance. "I heard that. I'll draw your husband," I replied, leaning forward, my voice low. "But I can also help you with more things. Look, I don't know what you have in mind, but don't treat me like your other clients. I'm not one of them." "I know you aren't," I said softly. "And I won't. But you look restless. I'm only here because Jennifer told you about me." I finished her sentence. She stood up and I followed. Her eyes widened, fire blazing beneath them. Her lips twisted into a tight frown. "I suggest we keep things very professional. I love my husband." "I never said you didn't." My voice dropped lower. "But I think there's a longing in you, to be seen, to be loved. I can see it all over you. Allow me." What the hell is wrong with me? Do I even know how to love? With any other client, we'd be halfway to the wall kissing by now. But here I was, quoting Shakespeare like a fool. Her mocking laugh filled the room, low and taunting. She glared at me like I'd lost my mind, then shook her head. "Christmas is a month and 2 weeks from now. Can it be ready before Christmas Eve?" she asked, snapping back to business. I nodded, scratching the back of my neck. "Then I'd better get going." Opening her bag, she pulled out a card and placed it on the table. "Text me the price, whatever you need." "I need only you," my body screamed, but I forced a polite smile instead. "I'll be back in 3 weeks to see your progress, or we could do it via video call," she added, turning toward the door. As she walked away, silence filled the room. I placed my hands on the table for support, feeling an unexpected wave of loss wash over me, only for my fingers to bump into something. I looked down. Her bag. "You forgot your bag," I said quietly, disbelief lacing my voice. "Wasn't she just holding it a second ago?" She froze, her fingers tightening on the door handle. Her shoulders went rigid, tension rippling through her body. I picked up the bag and walked toward her. "Here," I whispered close to her ear. I could hear her breathing, uneven and fast. She stretched out her hand without turning around. I placed the bag gently in her palm, and then she was gone. The door shut softly behind her, leaving only her scent in the air. I stared at the empty doorway, a strange ache tightening my chest. Did she just walk away?
The scent of Anthonio's studio was still on my skin when I stepped into my own hallway, but the coldness of my home washed it away instantly. "Hey, honey." I hurried toward my husband the moment I saw him. He raised a brow, his gaze slicing through me, freezing me mid-step. "I didn't know you'd come early." My voice was low, trembling. My heart thundered in my chest, every beat loud in my ears. The irritation in his eyes burned into me, stripping away the little warmth left in the room. He sat on the velvet couch in our sitting room, sleek, modern, and expensive. Golden light from the chandelier fell over the glass table where his laptop rested, casting long shadows on the marbled floor. Everything gleamed, perfect and polished, just how George liked it. "Why is your hair down?" he asked, rolling his eyes. I reached for my hair instinctively. "Go and wrap it." He waved a dismissive hand, eyes already dropping back to his screen. I turned instantly, my legs moving faster than my body. My heel caught the edge of the step leading up to our bedroom and I stumbled. "Ah!" A gasp tore from my lips. "Don't tell me you're now clumsy or blind. Why are you tripping?" George's voice snapped behind me. "There are lights everywhere." His tone dripped with mockery. My face burned as I ran up the stairs, his loud hiss following me into the hallway. In our bedroom, I shut the door and slumped to the floor. My body crumpled, and the tears came fast, hot and bitter. I pressed a trembling hand over my mouth, muffling the scream clawing up my throat. "Deborah, don't cry. Don't cry." My chest heaved. I forced deep breaths in threes until the tremor eased. The room around me gleamed. A queen-sized bed draped in cream silk, matching curtains swaying slightly from the ceiling fan. Everything screamed wealth, yet I'd never felt smaller inside it. After a while, I rose and walked to the dressing table. My reflection stared back at me, my lips tight, red eyes, a woman stretched thin between silence and survival. I grabbed a hairband and pulled my hair back, my mind trailing back to the last visit to our therapist, Mrs. Olson. I love him so much. He's my first love," I said, my voice breaking. "Tell me, George, do you still love her?" Mrs. Olson asked gently. George's eyes turned to me, sharp and unfeeling. His gaze ran up and down my body, assessing, not adoring. No. He looked back at the therapist, his lips flattening into a frown. My heart sank. A bitter taste filled my mouth, thick and acidic. "What changed?" she probed softly. "Can't say." He shrugged. That shrug cut deeper than any insult could. "Deborah, what do you want?" Mrs. Olson's voice softened, as if she could see right through my breaking. "I want this to work," I whispered, my voice cracking. "I want us to try again. Do you think you can, George?" He shrugged again, that same careless lift of his shoulders, the kind that said you don't matter enough to answer. "What the hell is keeping you, Deborah? Bring my food. I'm stepping out in a few minutes." George barked loudly, jolting me back to the present. I quickly wrapped my hair into a messy bun, wiping away the tears that had finally fallen. Drawing in a shaky breath, I ran downstairs to the kitchen. I turned on the gas to reheat the grilled salmon and asparagus I'd prepared before going to the art studio this morning. The buttery scent filled the air, wrapping around me, warm, rich, suffocating. My heart skipped as a flash of Anthonio's chest. The tattoo, the heat, burst into my mind. I shook my head hard, forcing myself to focus on the pan. After plating the food, I carried it to the dining room. "Babe, the food's ready," I called softly, setting down our plates. A few minutes later, George joined me. He sat and immediately began eating. "Babe, we didn't say grace," I said, my voice soft, testing the air like it might break. "Can you let me eat?" he snapped, glaring up at me. "I'm sorry." He hissed and kept eating. I swallowed hard and picked up my fork instead, pushing the steak and asparagus around my plate in silence. "And why is your hair like that?" I looked up. His eyes were hard again. "I packed it," I said, smoothing the bun nervously. "I'm not blind, Deborah. It's not neat." "I was in a hurry. You had to eat. Do you know how long you spent up there? Only for you to come down like this? You know what? Whatever. Eat your food." He pushed back his chair abruptly, the scrape echoing through the room. My chest tightened. "George, where are you going?" I rose quickly. "Seriously?" He raised a brow, disbelief twisting his face. "Okay, babe. I'll wrap my hair neater. Don't go, please." I ran my fingers through it, trying to smooth every loose strand. He paused, watching me with full-blown disdain. "Clean yourself, Deborah. You know how I like you to look." Shaking his head, he stormed off. "But I'm not dirty!" I bent my head and sniffed my armpits, pain slicing through me. The chandelier light flickered on the glass, and for a moment, I saw my reflection in it. Small, trembling, and fading. I bolted upstairs, my heart hammering, and slammed the bedroom door shut. The echo bounced through the quiet house like a warning. My chest heaved. I could feel my pulse in my throat. The air felt too thick to breathe as I rushed into the bathroom. The mirror caught me, and my reflection stared back, confused, trembling, wild. I untied my hair and gripped it tight this time, twisting and banding it until my scalp screamed. My face flushed red, my forehead slick with sweat from the strain. "Clean yourself up," George's words echoed sharply in my head. "I'm not dirty, right? I'm not." The whisper trembled from my lips. My gaze dragged down my body, desperate for proof. I checked for stains, any trace that could prove George's words. Nothing. Relief flickered briefly until my eyes froze on a faint spot at the hem of my blouse. Damn! I tore the blouse off, the fabric ripping beneath my fingers. My shorts and underwear followed. The air hit my skin, cold and biting. I stumbled into the shower and twisted the knob. Hot water exploded out, hitting my skin like punishment. A cry escaped me. "Bear it, Deborah. We need to get you clean. For George." Steam filled the space, wrapping around me like a suffocating veil. The walls blurred. My breathing turned ragged. My skin stung under every drop. I pressed my palms against the tiled wall, my body shaking. Finally, I spun off the hot water. My chest rose and fell sharply. Then I saw it, my reflection ghosting through the fogged glass door. My breath hitched. The woman staring back looked hollow. Red skin, tangled hair clinging to her neck, eyes wide and desperate. "Your beauty is distracting." Anthonio's voice slid into my mind, low and dangerous. My knees weakened. I twisted the cold water on, desperate to calm the burning on my body. It hissed over me, making my body jolt. The sound filled the silence, mixing with my heavy breathing. "Are you happy?" Antonio's voice came again, deeper, closer, almost touching. "No." The word escaped my lips before I could stop it. My eyes flew open. The bathroom was still. Steam curled slowly through the air. But then, he was there. Anthonio stood behind me, his shape barely visible through the fogged glass. His eyes were dark and unreadable. "How did you get in here?" I gasped. "Shh." His voice drifted through the air. "Allow me, Deborah." His presence felt warm, close, too close. My body trembled as if caught between fear and something I didn't want to name. For a moment, I leaned back, my mind spinning. "Relax," he whispered. My breathing became uneven. "Anthonio," I murmured. The world around me blurred, emotions colliding, guilt, confusion, longing. Then suddenly, my eyes snapped open. The bathroom was empty. The fog cleared. I was alone. My reflection stared back at me in shock. My hands froze against my own body. "God!" The word slipped from my lips as realization hit me like lightning. I was imagining Anthonio, thinking he was here. I stumbled back from the mirror. "What is wrong with me?" I whispered. I grabbed the soap and scrubbed my skin harder than necessary, as if I could wash away the thoughts in my mind. Water splashed everywhere, mixing with tears I didn't even realize were falling. I stumbled out, dragging on a robe to cover my shaking body. Droplets fell from my hair, tracing cold lines down my neck. I moved toward the bedroom, every step unsteady. My phone glowed on the nightstand, 10 p.m. "I'm sorry, George." My voice broke. Guilt clawed through me. My fingers trembled as I dialed his number. It rang once. No answer. I called again. Still nothing. "George, please." My voice cracked. I dialed again, panic rising. "The number you dialed is not available. Please leave a message." The robotic voice echoed through the room, cold and final. I stood frozen as tears slid down my cheeks, mixing with the water still dripping from my hair. My heart pounded painfully in my chest. "George," I whispered again. "Please, I'm sorry. I never meant to even think about another man." But the line was already dead. "Get ready." The voice made me jump. I turned and saw George standing at the doorway, unbuttoning his shirt. His expression was unreadable. "When did you come in?" I asked, relief briefly washing over me. "How would you know?" he snarled. "When you looked so lost standing there." "I was waiting for you." My heart pounded as I spoke, praying he'd hear the trembling beneath my words. "Get dressed. We have dinner to attend in an hour," he said, lips twisting as if the idea of me joining him was an inconvenience. "Okay," I murmured, turning away to avoid his piercing gaze. "Deborah." His voice snapped through the air, sharp as a whip. I spun around immediately. "You know what I like?" His glare pinned me to the floor. I nodded, and he left the room without another word. The moment the door closed, I rushed to the dresser and loosened my hair. Turning on the dryer, I ran it through the strands, my mind racing through my wardrobe. George hated waiting. I couldn't afford to be late. When my hair was dry, I brushed it out quickly and twisted it into a tight bun, smoothing the edges with gel until every strand obeyed. 20 minutes gone. I darted into the walk-in closet with a thudding heart and grabbed a black midi dress. It fit snugly at the waist and flared to my ankles. The neckline was modest but elegant. I slipped on gold-heeled sandals and grabbed a matching purse. As I glanced at my phone, the time glared back. 10 minutes over. Panic turned to relief when I smiled at my reflection. He'd be pleased tonight. "Babe, I'm ready," I called as I reached the base of the stairs. He was seated on the couch, eyes glued to his laptop. When he finally looked up, his gaze swept over me from head to toe, cold and assessing. "Go and wait in the car," he said flatly. I swallowed hard but obeyed. At least he hadn't complained. The breath I'd been holding slipped out as soon as the cold night air brushed against my skin. Outside, the black Mercedes gleamed under the porch lights. I hurried in, buckled my seatbelt, and tried to still my trembling legs. My palms were damp. The quiet hum of the street filled the silence. Then I saw him approach. George wore a tailored charcoal suit that hugged his broad shoulders, the crisp white shirt underneath perfectly pressed. A slim black tie rested neatly against his chest, and his shoes shone like glass. He looked like a man carved for attention, composed, powerful, untouchable. I felt proud he was my husband. My heart quickened. He opened the driver's door, slid in beside me, and the air thickened instantly. "You look good," I said softly, and hopeful. "Okay." His eyes stayed forward as he started the car. Silence stretched between us like a wall. I turned my face toward the window, the city lights bleeding into streaks as we drove. My chest tightened. Each mile felt heavier. When he finally spoke, his voice was clipped. "We're here." I blinked, dazed. We'd already arrived. A tall glass building towered above us, its exterior glowing gold under the night sky. Well-dressed guests drifted through the entrance, laughter and camera flashes spilling into the night. "Don't embarrass me," George muttered, his words slicing through the air. I turned to him. His eyes flashed with warning. "I'll open the door." "Wait." I nodded quickly. My hands trembled in my lap. He rounded the car and opened my door, extending a hand. I placed mine in his, my pulse racing. His grip was firm, almost mechanical. Once I stood, he hooked my arm through his, leading me inside with long, unyielding strides. I had to quicken my pace to keep up. The moment we entered, I froze. The hall was breathtaking. Chandeliers sparkled from the high ceiling, scattering gold light across polished marble floors. The air smelled of roses, champagne, and money. Waiters in tuxedos moved gracefully between tables covered in white linen, each adorned with crystal glasses and golden cutlery. Guests sparkled in designer gowns and tuxedos, their laughter rising and falling like music. I suddenly felt small, out of place. "Look at my man!" The voice turned heads. A woman in a red silk gown glided toward us, her confidence stealing the room's attention. The dress hugged her like liquid fire, and diamonds dripped from her ears. Her hair framed her face in soft waves, every strand deliberately perfect. "Rita," George said, beaming. His face transformed, bright, warm, alive. He took her hand and kissed it. My stomach twisted. I couldn't remember the last time he'd looked at me that way. "You look so beautiful," he said. Rita's laughter tinkled like glass. "Of course I do." She tossed her hair, and when her eyes shifted to me, they widened briefly before softening into polite mockery. "Who is she?" "Oh." George turned to me, his hesitation cutting deeper than words. "She's my wife, Deborah. She looks—" Rita paused, her lips curling. "Decent." George nodded. "Yes, that's it." Rita chuckled. "I'm Rita, George's business partner." She extended her hand. I took it. Her perfume, a mix of jasmine and power, invaded my senses. It clung to my skin even after she let go. Was that what George liked? That kind of scent? That kind of woman? But he wants me to look like this. I think he just likes her confidence. I need to work on mine. "Go find a place to sit. I have a meeting with Rita." George nudged, without looking at me. I forced a smile and nodded. My heels clicked softly as I walked away, each step echoing louder in my chest. The room suddenly felt too bright, too loud. "Do you care for a drink?" a waiter asked. I shook my head, forcing a small smile. His gaze lingered on me, puzzled, almost pitying, as if asking how I had gotten in here. I shrank under it, retreating to an empty table near the front. The moment I sat, I felt eyes, whispers, ripples of laughter. "That table's for the nobles," a woman sneered. "Go to the extension, that's where the ushers are seated." More laughter followed. My skin burned. I stood abruptly, blinking back tears as I turned away. My vision blurred as I stumbled down a corridor, pushing open a door marked dressing room. Inside, the quiet felt like mercy. I pressed a hand to my mouth, holding back a sob. "Don't cry. Don't make noise. Just breathe." After a moment, I wiped my face and forced myself to look in the mirror. My eyes were swollen, cheeks flushed. I reached into a drawer and found a compact powder, brushing it over my skin until the redness dulled. The woman staring back looked composed now. I inhaled deeply and stepped out. Soft music filled the hall now. Couples moved under the chandeliers. I moved through the crowd, scanning every face until I saw him. George. He was on the dance floor, with Rita. Her arms looped around his neck, his hand firm at her waist. Their bodies moved in slow rhythm, too close, like they were lovers. "I'm his business partner." Her words echoed cruelly. Pain sliced through me. I stood frozen, every heartbeat screaming. As she could feel my penetrating eyes, Rita looked up. She caught my gaze. Her lips curved slightly as she tapped George's arm. He turned, eyes cold and detached. No shame, no explanation. He whispered something into her ear. She laughed, her glance flicking back to me, shrugging. I died. Not physically, but something inside me collapsed. I watched the ghost of myself turn away, dragging my body with it. My legs carried me toward the exit running. The night air slapped my face as I stumbled outside, raising my hand to stop a taxi. Tears streamed down my cheeks, blurring the glittering city lights. I didn't see George when he came home that night. I didn't want to. I spent the next morning in a daze, the glittering chandeliers replaced by the cold tile of my kitchen. By the time the afternoon sun hit the sink, my eyes were still swollen, and my heart was still in pieces. "Girl, why do you look like a panda?" I was at the sink washing plates when Jennifer's voice broke the silence. She sat on the kitchen counter, sipping from a glass of smoothie, her face caught between pity and amusement. "Do you want me to send you out of my house?" I snapped. "You can't," she fired back, chuckling, that mocking sound that always rubbed my nerves raw. Heat rose inside me, anger boiling beneath my skin. Since I couldn't lash out at George, she was the only safe target. He had come in late this morning and left for work without saying a word. "I'm serious, Debbie. Look at your eyes. Everything looks swollen. Did you and George fight, or you didn't sleep at all?" Her voice was gentle, but the concern behind it pierced through my chest. My hands trembled. The plate slipped from my wet fingers and shattered on the floor. "Debbie!" Jennifer screamed, jumping off the counter. I bent quickly, trying to gather the broken pieces. A sharp sting tore through my palm. "Ah!" I cried out as blood streamed down my hand. Jennifer hissed and rushed toward me. "Stop!" She pulled me up, her grip firm, and dragged me to the dining room, straight to the sink. The water hissed as it hit the blood. I winced, my breathing uneven. She snatched a napkin from the dining table and pressed it against my palm, then turned off the tap. "Where is your medicine box?" she asked, her tone controlled, though the flare in her nostrils gave her anger away. "In the bathroom," I whispered, exhausted. She moved immediately. "You can find one in the visitor's toilet," I called after her so she wouldn't waste time climbing upstairs. In less than a minute, she returned, the first aid box clutched in her hand. She opened it briskly, cut out some cotton wool, and poured iodine peroxide. When she took my hand, her touch was rough but careful. I hissed, jerking slightly. The chemical burned. "Hold still," she said, her lips pressed tight. Her focus didn't waver as she cleaned the wound. She dabbed antiseptic powder and wrapped it neatly with a bandage, then looked up, her eyes sharp. "Care to talk?" she asked, pushing the box aside and folding her arms. "Jennifer," I called weakly, my throat dry. "What?" she barked. "Why haven't George gotten a maid yet? Why do you have to tighten your hair like this? I can see your vein popping out. Look at your eyes, Deborah. What is going on?" She continued hissing. Jennifer was the only one who called me Debbie. Hearing her say Deborah meant she was angry. "Can two people who are business partners dance so close?" I blurted out, unable to stop myself. The image of Rita and George swayed in my mind like a curse I couldn't shake. I needed a conviction that they were just business partners. Jennifer frowned, confused. "Jennifer, yesterday at the dinner, a lady came up to us saying she's George's business partner, but they danced, too close, their arms around each other like the way George and I danced on our wedding day. He didn't even stop when he saw me watching." Jennifer gave a short, humorless laugh. "Can you really hear yourself right now?" She leaned forward, her voice sharp. "Debbie, they're not just dancing. They're fuck buddies." "Don't say that. We don't know that," I whispered, my voice breaking. "I don't understand why you let this man walk over you," she said, shaking her head. "He does whatever he wants outside and still controls you inside." "Jennifer, I love him. He was your first love," she cut in, rolling her eyes. "Deborah, when was the last time that man even touched you?" "That's why I'm trying to reignite our love," I said quickly. "Apart from the painting, I'm planning a getaway for both of us." Jennifer arched a brow, skeptical. "Good luck with that. But have you met the artist yet?" "Yeah." My mind flickered back to Anthonio, his voice, his eyes, the way he looked at me. Heat crawled through my body. I clenched my thighs and sat up straighter. "Jennifer, I'm thinking of changing him." "What? Why?" she asked, her brows shooting up. He's not professional. Who doesn't wear a shirt when attending to clients? Jennifer looked amused. He's an artist. You expect him to wear a suit? A shirt would do, I countered. Her lips curved. Wait, Debbie, don't tell me you're falling for him. What? No, I said quickly, leaning back. My pulse raced. Heat flushed my skin. She studied me with a grin tugging at her lips. Well, if you are, it wouldn't be a bad thing to taste that black man. Jennifer! I screamed, my jaw dropping. What? When was the last time your coochie got warmed? If you're not getting it inside, get it outside. Jennifer, I'm trying to fix my marriage. No doubt. Then let Anthonio do the painting. Trust me, he's the best. But have fun too. She winked. What fun are we having? The voice came from the sitting room. The air froze. My heart sank into my stomach. Jennifer and I turned sharply. George stood there, eyes glinting with fury, his lips curled in a hard frown. I think it's my cue to leave, Jennifer said, standing. Her tone was light, but her shoulders stiffened. She and George locked eyes, the familiar, quiet hatred sparking between them. To him, Jennifer ruined his brother. He'd never forgive her. She brushed past him, her perfume lingering in the air, the door clicking behind her. Silence followed. I stood, forcing myself to move toward George, my body trembling. I reached for his work bag, but he grabbed it first. His glare cut through me, cold, heavy, and wordless. Then he turned and walked away, his footsteps echoing down the hall. My throat ached. I stood frozen by the sink, my bandaged hand throbbing. The room suddenly felt darker somehow, the air thick. I told myself I was only going back to check on the progress of the painting. I told myself I was a loyal wife. But as I stood outside Anthonio's door, the music leaking through the wood made my pulse do things it never did for George. Alicia Keys. Unthinkable filled the air. I froze. That voice, that song, it wrapped around me like silk. Something fluttered deep inside me, wild and unsteady. I took a shaky breath, placed my hand on the door, and was about to knock when it creaked open on its own. And there he was. Antonio sat on a low stool, his back bare, and trousers clinging to his hips. The soft light kissed every muscle that flexed and moved beneath his skin. My brain screamed, "Oh my God," but my body refused to move. I was rooted to the spot, heat pooling between my thighs like sin. "You like what you see, Deborah?" His deep accent rolled through the room, smooth, teasing, and dangerous. He turned slightly, a pencil caught between his lips. I wished that was my mouth instead. My stomach twisted. The thought was so wild it made me stagger. My hand grabbed the door for balance, forcing my feet to move. "Is that my husband you're painting?" He shifted instantly, blocking my view, his eyes guarded but glinting. "What have you come for?" he asked, voice low and smoky, every word like a drag of temptation. "I came to see how far you've gone with the portrait," I said, trying to sound composed, but my voice wavered. His brow lifted, surprise flickering before he masked it. "It's not 3 weeks yet." "Something tells me you haven't even touched it." He smirked, his gaze dragging over me, unhurried and deliberate. My sweater suddenly felt too thin and my jeans too tight. I felt stripped bare under that look. "You're right. I haven't even begun," he said calmly, watching me like a cat studying its prey. "Why not?" I tried to sound stern, but my voice came out soft. Too soft. "Because I like to take my time. Enjoy the process," he murmured. "But the portrait will be ready before Christmas Eve." He held my gaze so intently I forgot what I wanted to say. My throat went dry. "But something tells me otherwise," he added, standing. His gaze sharpened, cold and calculating, like he was searching for the perfect spot to pin me. I took a step back. He smirked, clearly enjoying the show I was putting on. His movements were slow and predatory. My brain forgot the door even existed. Panic spiked inside me. I spun around and bolted. Seeing me run, his rich laughter filled the air, deep, taunting, and amused. He didn't chase. He just stood there, watching me like I was entertainment. "Seriously, what do you think you're doing, Deborah?" he asked, his brow rising. The way he said my name, it wasn't a question. It was a promise. "I want to know, what do you think I came for?" I shot back, forcing a chuckle that didn't sound like me. He stepped closer. I moved back. He moved again. It became a dance. Slow, hot, charged. My breath came in shallow bursts. Where the hell was the door? "What are you thinking?" I asked, my voice almost a whisper. He stopped, his gaze sweeping from my head to my toes, purposely slow. "That you can't stop thinking about me." I let out a laugh, but it sounded nervous even to my own ears. "You are really delusional. I told you. I'm married." "I know," he said softly, his lips curving into a smile. "Then tell me, where's your wedding ring?" "Huh?" My heart stuttered. I glanced down. My hand was bare. "Shit. I forgot it," I stammered. His eyes darkened, that teasing calm never leaving. "Interesting. That's none of your damn business," I said quickly. "You respect me and don't get to talk about what I don't tell you." "Deborah," he said my name again, slowly, testing it like it was made of sugar. "Tell me, why exactly did you come here?" "I already answered you." "You don't keep to your words," he said, pointing at me. "Neither do you," I snapped. "The only words I gave you were that your portrait would be ready before Christmas Eve," he said, his tone dropping lower. I looked away. He was right. What was I even thinking coming here? "You were thinking about him," my brain screamed. "I remember." His voice dropped. "I said more words that day." The sound of it made my stomach twist. I turned and froze. He was already standing right in front of me. I stumbled back, but he followed instantly, grabbing me and pulling me flush against his chest. My lungs forgot how to work. His scent, paint, sweat, and danger, wrapped around me. My breath hitched. My pulse thundered so loud I was sure we both could hear it. "Deborah," he breathed, his voice barely a whisper. "Which of the things I said do you want me to fulfill?" He leaned closer and brushed a kiss along my neck. A small, helpless sound escaped me. My knees weakened. "I know you're married," he murmured quietly. "But I can see what's really going on. I know you're hurting." His hands rested lightly at my waist, steady and warm, sending a strange shiver through me. "You need to stop," I said quickly. "Right now. Let me go." "All right," he replied softly, stepping back. But I couldn't move. My body refused to listen. "I'm leaving," I whispered, though the words barely came out. Before I could take another step, he pulled me back toward him. My heart jumped as his lips met mine in a sudden kiss. The moment sent a rush through me that made it hard to think. Somehow my arms ended up around his shoulders as I tried to steady myself. He pulled back slightly, his hand moving gently to the side of my neck. My head tilted back, my thoughts spinning. For a moment, everything, George, the guilt, the world, faded away. There was only this moment, only him. "Deborah," he said quietly, his voice unsteady. I opened my eyes, and the intensity in his expression made my heart race. It was the kind of look that could change everything. His hand remained at my neck, firm but not painful, grounding me in the moment. Then my mind suddenly cleared. This wasn't George. The truth hit me like a slap. "What the hell?" I screamed, pushing him hard. He let go instantly. I stumbled back, shaking. "Stay away from me, Anthonio. You will ruin me." I grabbed my bag, hitting him with it, tears blurring my vision. He didn't move, just watched me with that knowing look that made my stomach twist in shame and want all at once. I cried out and bolted for the door, my chest heaving. My pulse slammed against my ribs as I fled the studio. I fled that studio like a woman escaping a fire, only to realize I was carrying the sparks with me. An hour later, I was back in the safety of my living room, but the walls of my marriage felt thinner than ever. I was a loyal wife. That's what I told myself as I paced the floor, waiting for the husband who barely looked at me. To drown out the shame, I turned on the music. Alicia Keys's voice floated through the house, the same song Anthonio had played, one of my favorites. I wanted to quench the fire he'd lit inside me. With my husband, I sang along softly, biting into an apple, the sweetness doing nothing to calm the tremor in my stomach. They were light but restless, like butterflies with nowhere to land. I paced the sitting room, waiting for George. "What's going on in here?" His voice cut through the music, sharp and irritated. His eyes trailed over me, from the robe barely covering my chest to the hem brushing my thighs. The irritation on his face darkened into something else. He grabbed the remote and turned off the music. "George!" I found courage and stepped closer, lifting my hands to touch him, but they fell back to my sides. "Babe, it's been long since you touched me. Are you blind or something? I just returned from work," he said, pulling off his suit. "I know, but you used to jump at me then, whenever you got back from work." "Deborah, please." Beads of sweat gathered on his forehead. The frustration was clear in the crease between his brows. He tried to walk past me, but my voice stopped him. "What is wrong with us, George? You're ruining our marriage!" I screamed. He stopped and turned. "Leave me alone! How else do you want me to say it? Are you having an affair with Rita?" The words slipped out before I could stop them. The fear I've been dreading. "You're crazy!" he snapped, his eyes widening. "Answer me!" I shouted, anger rising like heat in my chest. "And what if I am?" He smirked, stepping close, his tone mocking. "What do you intend to do about it? George, please." I reached for his shirt, tears burning my eyes. For a second, I thought I saw something soften in his gaze, but then he shoved my hands away. "Get off me!" he hissed and stormed out. I fell into the chair, my body trembling as hot tears streamed down my face. The humiliation burned through my chest, the weight of everything I'd endured for love sinking deep into my bones. My body folded in on itself, shaking with sobs that tore through my throat. A dull ache began to pulse at the sides of my head, and the restless feeling Anthonio had awakened inside me still hadn't faded. Then I remembered Jennifer's wedding gift to me. She had asked me that day if I never explored my own body. I had refused immediately, pushing her gift back to her. But Jennifer, being herself, pushed it back to me again, saying I might need it someday. "Do you ever explore your own body?" Jennifer's voice echoed in my head, a mischievous glint flashing in her eyes. "Ouch, no! I can't do that!" She'd rolled her eyes at me, her lips twisting with the amused smirk she always wore when she thought I was being too innocent. "Anyways," she'd said, pushing a small box across the table, "you might need this someday." "Jennifer, what is in there?" I'd asked, eyeing her with suspicion. "Open it." She shrugged, all fake nonchalance. My fingers trembled as I lifted the lid, her smirk growing wider the second my jaw dropped. It was a box filled with things meant to spice up a marriage. I pushed it back instantly, my face burning hot. "Jennifer, I don't need this. George is enough. Do you want to ruin my marriage?" "Girl, spice things up," she said, rolling her eyes at me. "You and George could even use it together." She laughed, pushing it back toward me again. I burst out laughing, hysterically, like a madwoman. Standing up suddenly, I ran upstairs to our bedroom. I pulled open my drawer, tossing my underwear aside until I saw it. The untouched box. A strange smile curved on my lips as I took it out and opened it. The gift lay inside under the dim light. I sat on the bed, my legs trembling. As I held it in my hands, my eyes slowly closed and the memory of Anthonio slipped into my mind. The room felt smaller, hotter, and alive. My breath caught, every nerve in my body humming with the same dangerous rhythm he had awakened in me. My hands accidentally pressed a button. The sudden pulse of movement startled me. My breath turned ragged, my hands clutching the sheets. The sound that escaped my lips was somewhere between a sob and a whisper. "Anthonio!" I gasped. "No. It should be George, my husband," I murmured, my voice shaking. I can't. My voice trembled, overwhelmed by everything I was feeling. And then it all hit me at once. A sharp cry escaped me, raw and shaking, echoing softly in the quiet room as the tension inside finally unraveled. For a long moment, I just lay there trembling, my breath uneven, my body still buzzing from the rush of emotions. Tears clung to my cheeks, and sweat dampened my skin. Heavy silence filled the room. Then my phone buzzed on the nightstand. I flinched. The sound cut through the quiet like a knife. Slowly, I turned my head. An unknown number. My chest tightened. I reached for it with shaking fingers, the screen glowing in the dark. "Forgive me for today." The words blurred as I read them again and again. My stomach sank. A cold wave of dread pushed through the remnants of the rush I had felt. Anthonio. I knew it was him. I fell asleep with the phone still glowing in my hand. Anthonio's message burned into my retinas. "Forgive me for today. I have something for you." The insistent beep of my phone tried to penetrate the cocoon of my duvet, but I snuggled deeper, ignoring it. "I'm going to call you now." Another beep. I turned away, burying myself further into the pillows. Then, the piercing sound of my phone sliced through the quiet room. I stretched a weary hand toward the phone and pressed the power button. Silence. Just as I relaxed, the ringing came again. Insistent, demanding attention. I snatched it up. "Jennifer, have mercy! It's 6 a.m, I'm still sleeping," I snapped. "Actually, it's 10 a.m., came a deep, accented voice. My body jolted upright. Anthonio. The name whispered in my mind, sending a shiver down my spine. "How did you get my number?" I demanded, voice sharp with sudden awareness. "You gave it to me the first day you came here, remember?" His tone carried amusement, a hint of a smirk I could almost hear. "I thought I made it clear you shouldn't call me again," I retorted, pulling the sheet around me. "How can I do that when we have business together? You haven't even approved the payment yet," he said. Each word grated against my nerves, filled with calm arrogance. "Look, don't call me until my work is ready for delivery. Just leave me alone." "I'm sorry," he pleaded, voice softer now. I lowered the phone, checking the screen. It still showed unknown number. "Deborah, I truly am sorry. I should have respected your boundaries. Please forgive me." I held my breath, pressing my palm to my chest as it raced uncontrollably. "Deborah," he said again. His voice made my stomach flutter. I couldn't speak. My body felt tense, charged, like a storm inside me. "Deborah, are you there?" "Yes," I whispered. "Can you come to the studio? I want to show you something. I promise you'll like it." "What?" I snapped back, suspicious. Was he trying to manipulate me? "I swear, it's strictly professional. I want to show you something, and I think you'll love." Silence stretched between us. "One more chance," I whispered. "I'll see you in 2 hours." Exactly 2 hours later, I stood outside Anthonio's studio. The door opened before I could knock. He was wearing a fitted t-shirt and trousers, muscles defined beneath the fabric, not what I had imagined, but still commanding. "You came," he smiled, stepping back to let me in. "Well, you said you have something to show me, so I came to see it," I said casually, masking the storm inside me. "Thank you," he replied gently, a side of him I hadn't expected. "So, where's the surprise?" I asked, scanning the studio. Unfinished works were covered under canvas cloths. "Calm down," he winked. "First, a glass of wine for it." He poured 2 glasses, offering one to me. We sipped, our eyes meeting across the rims. My stomach fluttered. I quickly turned away, swallowing hard. He brushed past me lightly, a subtle touch that made me startle, then moved to the covered boards. He pulled one, larger than the rest, to the center and lifted the cloth with a flourish. George's face stared back at me. Not a full portrait, just his hair, ears, and eyes. Those eyes, piercing, familiar. My skin prickled. "How?" I couldn't finish. My throat tightened, pain and longing gnawing at me. These were the eyes I had fallen for when George first looked at me. But now, my body reacted to the moment, to the intensity of the studio, and to Antonio's presence. "I spent all night thinking about earning your trust again while drawing this," Anthonio murmured, setting his glass down softly. "You shouldn't have done that," I said, still staring at the drawing. "Christmas is weeks away." "Yes." His breath grazed the back of my neck. I shivered. "What are you doing?" I asked, alarmed, attempting to step back, but he didn't cross the line. He stayed close, his presence overwhelming. "Deborah, I can't stop thinking about you," he admitted softly. His tone was heavy with emotion. "You need to stop now," I commanded, my voice shaky. "I'm trying," he said, "but I can't. I've never felt like this before." "I'm married," I reminded him. "I know, but I need to protect and support you," he said, a quiet honesty in his voice. I forced myself to step back. "Let me go now," I said, maintaining boundaries. "I will," he replied, holding a respectful distance. Though the tension in the room lingered, I ran from the studio, hands trembling as I called an Uber. My pulse pounded. Alone in the car, I traced my hand to my neck where his words and presence had lingered, the memory leaving me flushed, tense, and restless. "What have I gotten myself into?" I whispered, finally letting silent tears fall. His words and presence continued to echo in my mind, a storm I wasn't ready to face. The drive back was a blur of streetlights and silent tears. By the time I turned the key in my front door, the warmth of the studio felt like a lifetime ago. The air in the hallway was cold, smelling of expensive floor wax and George's indifference. I could see the lights were on, so I knew he was home. "You haven't set the table yet?" George said, the moment he sensed my presence, his voice sharp and heavy with immediate anger. "Give me a few minutes, George," I called out, scrubbing my skin raw. I was desperate to wash away the scent and the lingering presence of Anthonio from my body. I quickly rinsed off the soap, slipped into a robe, and hurried out. Heading straight to the dressing table, I applied lotion and a perfume deliberately similar to the one Rita had worn at the party. I hoped George would notice, and maybe want me. I was just finishing with my deodorant when I heard the distinct beep of a phone. I assumed it was mine since George always kept his phone with him. I turned, but the phone was resting on the dresser. That's when I saw the screen. "Are you not coming tonight? I miss you already." A cold fear crept inside me. I looked closer. It was George's phone. A fresh message popped up again, sending a chill through my body. I can't stop thinking about how close we were earlier. The bottle of deodorant slipped from my hands, shattering on the floor. Another text arrived almost immediately. "Gee, you're not replying. Call me, please." The sender's name glared at me. R. Hot, searing anxiety twisted in my gut. I seized the phone and stormed out of the bedroom. You're seeing her? I blurted, my breath coming in ragged gasps, my chest heaving. How did you get my phone? I've been looking for it. George turned, snatching it from my grip. The truth exposed itself. You left it here. And then you snooped through my phone? Oh, I didn't need to. Your secret showed itself. Who is R? You don't look through what doesn't belong to you. That's invading privacy. Who exactly is R, George? I roared, stepping into his space, my voice cracking with desperation. Or what, Deborah? He shouted back, his face twisted with contempt. My heart sank, a sharp pain twisting in my throat. Oh, George, I cried, hitting his chest with my palms. I stay here. I manage our house. I follow every instruction you give. I live to please you, and this is how you repay me? By being with another woman? His retort was bitter and unforgiving. You humiliated me at that dinner. Why did you sit at that table? Did you not see it was reserved for the elites? Because of your carelessness, I lost an important client. How was I supposed to know who the table belonged to? It was an event I knew nothing about. That's why you're supposed to use your common sense. I worked hard for that client. I'm sorry, George. I'm sorry. I didn't know. He scoffed. Yeah, whatever you see serves you right because you're always sorry. Was that why you were with her? You deserve the consequences. But George, you haven't even shown me attention for so long, even before this. He looked away, dismissive. And I won't, until you start acting like my wife should. He turned, walking away. I trailed after him, my entire being consumed by grief. What am I supposed to do, George? Tell me what to do. I want to make this work. I don't know. Use your brain. He sneered, and then he was gone. I stood there, broken, confused, ashamed. Every word, every feeling, collapsed inside me. I blinked, hoping it was all unreal, but the silence of the house confirmed the truth. I can't get you off my mind. Anthonio's voice echoed in my head, slicing through the chaos of George's betrayal. I could hear him, feel him. I need you. The void George had left became deep, and a strange, insistent pull coursed through me. Pain turned to longing. I spun around, rushed to the bedroom, tore off the robe, and threw on trousers and a sweatshirt. I ordered an Uber immediately. My heart pounded fiercely, fueled by anguish and urgency. As Antonio's studio building came into view, I made a swift payment to the driver, my chest tight with anticipation. I sprinted toward the entrance and into the elevator. I didn't think. I just ran. When I reached his floor, I knocked insistently. No answer. A flicker of fear tried to creep in again, but I ignored it. I knocked harder. Still nothing. I scanned the frame, looking for a doorbell. Just then, the door swung open. Anthonio stood there, shirtless, sweat glistening across the contours of his chest. The sight stirred a fresh wave of emotion inside me. His eyes widened in surprise. Are you not going to let me in? I asked, my voice strained. It's 7 in the evening, Deborah, he murmured, confusion etched on his face. I pressed my palms against his chest and stepped inside. I need you now, I whispered, voice quivering. He froze, hesitation and concern clashing in his eyes. Deborah! I tugged at my sweater, trying to take it off, but he caught my arms, holding me firmly yet gently. Deborah, what's going on? Is everything okay? He asked softly, his hands resting on my shoulders. I want you, Antonio, I breathed, our gazes locked in silence thick with tension.
If you love this story, subscribe to Your Romance Harbor. Episode 2 is coming soon.